Well, I swear it's actually just a coincidence that Kat just got a delivery of beers today, which I don't quite understand because I thought you hated beers.
Pat recommended the Tavr app, and it's been too easy to order things from there, and they just make such really delicious.
We hope.
Descriptions. So we'll see if those are accurate or not in the next several videos. We have a lot of beers.
Yeah, but
and they're not all maple beers. There's a lot of sours, some ciders, and other variations.
I swear it's coincidence, and I this is literally the first one I pulled out. It just looked, I guess because a lot of them were cans, but I saw that shiny lid, and I pulled it out. I was gifted, and it's a, whatever OFYMD means, maple bourbon barrel-aged imperial maple stout. It's getting to the point where I don't know what most of these words mean. And it is a pina colada style stout. Again, I didn't know that was a thing. With pineapple and coconut and aged in maple syrup. Oh, let's see. I'll try it. It might not be a maple beer. It's maple bourbon barrel aged. But it's a maple stout. I don't know what any of this shit means anymore.
It'll probably be similar to the other one we tried where it wasn't really... It was a good stout, but it wasn't quite a... Maple was not the significant flavor.
Yeah, and I hate to say this one does not have a very fun description for Kat
shaking it.
To read, unless she wants to just say, produced and bottled by Westbrook Brewing Company in Mount Pleasant, South Colorado.
Let's just open it.
Okay. Get back. You want to do the honors? Or you want me to pour?
I'll pour mine, because I don't like a big head on it.
Yeah, I actually like that foaminess. It reminds me of I don't even drink soda anymore, but when you had to shook up Coca-Cola. Yeah, we might actually I didn't realize how big. This is a 1.6 fluid ounces and 12.8 alcohol.
It smells like a thick, syrupy, chocolatey alcohol.
It's almost, wow, that is...
You can smell the coconut.
You could smell the alcohol. I mean, I'm not even I'm surprised this is aged in maple barrels, because it smells more like hard liquor. Oh, maple syrup bourbon barrels. I'm not sure what that is.
Taste the alcohol. It's quite strong, but it's good.
I like it a lot.
It's also a little bit more bitter than I like.
Yeah, I'm mostly getting the taste of whiskey barrels. I don't taste pineapple much. I don't taste coconut much. I don't taste maple much.
I do get the coconut and pineapple. It's quite bitter at the end.
It's syrupy, so maybe that had something to do with the maple.
It's definitely like if I was just chewing on some coconut flakes and then didn't have them in my mouth anymore, it would just be like that taste.
Yeah, on that second sip, there's something at the end. I don't know what it is, but it's it is like, it might be the coconut taste. There's like an aftertaste at the end. It's good. I like this beer a lot. I'm trying to be more fair and not judge them poorly on the lack of maple flavor, because this is very flavorful. And if anything, the maple, even though I don't taste it as maple, I'm sure the maple is pushing that flavor across. You know? You don't know.
You're just talking out of your ass.
Boo!
It has that nice chocolatiness that I like in a stout, but it just also has that bitterness that I don't like. Because the first one we had was great. It wasn't bitter, and it was imperial, and it was barrel aged.
Yeah, because the way this one is, and the way the one the one from Founders was, that's what I'm used to when I have bourbon barrel aged. It almost has that burn of hard liquor, which the first one I liked a lot, and I was surprised because it was also bourbon barrel aged, but it didn't have that, almost that harshness of bourbon. And I love bourbon, don't get me wrong. Life hack is to fill a mason jar with bourbon and maple syrup. Which maybe because this says bourbon, like there's so many words here. I think what it means is that it was a maple bourbon barrel aged stout. So they probably had one of those whiskey maples. Because there's bourbon, like Jim Beam makes like a maple bourbon whiskey. I'm assuming they mean that they had a barrel where they made maple bourbon, and then they aged this beer in that.
Like with, well, they didn't do it with
Not
the
with
bourbon,
it,
right?
Yeah. Okay. No, barrel. I mean, we'd be dead if we were drinking a bottle of whiskey. like they get barrels that people are no longer using to make whiskey or make maple, and the wood kind of has this like the memories of it, kind of almost like, I don't know, some of those seltzers have the memories of fruit, and when you let the beer sit in there, it slowly just seeps those flavors out into the beer. So you're not, I think that's why it's a little bit harder than normal beer. I think I might be wrong on that, but you're not going to be like, getting knocked out. Like, it's nowhere near the strength of whiskey.
It is definitely like eating chocolate, like a pina colada kind of chocolate. If they just added like a little bit of salt or something, then that would probably take out the bitterness, and it would be delicious.
I think I see what you mean. Again, I like bitter stuff. It doesn't bother me as much, but I can see why, if someone like Cat has kind of a sensitivity towards that flavor. So I would not recommend it to people who don't like a little bit of bitterness. Like, I like coffee, it's a bit bitter. I like dark chocolate. You're gonna compare it to, if I were getting water?
No, I'm getting salt.
What?
Let's just see if this works the same way that pastries do.
Oh, you're gonna try to salt it to me. Salt beer is the newest craze, I've heard.
Wait, is it really?
Mm.
Oh.
Smoke beer is actually, maybe we should try a smoke beer on the show. That's like a German beer that they smoke it. And that's like an old school thing. It's not some weird hipster trend or anything. Unlike making beer review videos. Ew.
Yeah. It's much less bitter now. Yeah, so I guess maybe it works just like coffee does, where you add a little bit of salt.
What about a little bit of milk and a little bit
of salt, and then you get a less bitter coffee.
I mean, I like that. Like, it warms you up the way whiskey warms you up without having to be something that heavy. Like, it's not every day I want to chug whiskey.
The alcohol
maybe these
smell and flavor in here that is very strong is that of a whiskey, but then you just get that nice thick chocolatey taste with a little bit of the pina colada back end, and add some salt, and it's not quite bitter.
And she said, I'm talking out of my head.
I would give this also a 3.5.
Okay. And remember, the maple leaves are just because that's something I like. It's not judging the maple-iness of the beer. I would probably say a 4. Why don't they make an Elmer Budweiser? But even then, I appreciate Bud for its time and its place. I guess I just like them. I just kind of like beers, man.
I just like desserts. So if a beer tastes like a good dessert, so be it. So beer it. Yeah,
I think our journey is more about, I mean, I've loved every one we've tried so far, but finding very dessert-like beers, because Kat is fat. In a good way. There's nothing wrong with being fat. Although my friend did warn me, be careful on all these dessert-type beers, because they'll probably blow up your stomach way quicker than just like...
Oh, I'm sure that this is packed with calories, but I'm not counting.
But I am. No, I don't even know what a calorie is. I knew a girl named Mallory.
And she counted calories?
And she had a high salary. It's from South Carolina, distributed by a company out of Brooklyn. It says bottled for Evil Twin Brewing by Westbrook Brewing Company.
Oh.
So I wonder if they're like a company that brews all these types of beers, but then for like brand type stuff wanted to just have a little side thing for the, like really experimental stuff. Because I don't know what Westbrook, I've never been to South Carolina, but I know some companies have like a whole brand. Maybe they're just like, we like pea beer and we don't like the new stupid hipster millennial beers, so maybe they needed to have like the Evil Twin be the one that gets all experimental. I'm just talking out my head.
The thing that I learned in my playwriting class last semester,
shout out to Luther.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Luther. Sorry.
Which I do notice now when I watch stuff is that scripts are interesting when you introduce some kind of interesting educational fact and then you tie it into the story somehow.
The Phoenicians in the 13th century were Phoenician. Let me think. I'll just start trying to throw facts. Evil Twin. Fuck. Westbrook. There's also a Westbrook. I guess there must have been some asshole named Westbrook who just was part of like the early colonization of North America, because there's a Westbrook in a lot of like East Coast areas, and I noticed this is Westbrook. No offense to the brewer, your beer's very nice. Maybe your great grandpa was a dick. I don't know what OFYMD means.
Oh,
Out of
fair ye, my dear.
Oh.
What?
Oh fuck yeah, my dude.
I mean, maybe.
Because when I first took my sip, I was like, oh fuck yeah, my dude. That might really be what it is. It might also be, oh, free your mind, damn it.
Yeah.
Free your mind and your ass will follow. The kingdom of heaven is within. There's some facts for you. That's P-Funk.
I'd say 3.5 maple leaves for me, 4 maple leaves for you.
Yeah, because, I mean, not only is it very good, but like we said, it's actually quite a high alcohol percentage, so...
This is definitely a...
This is a higher buzz than I was expecting.
You'd want to slowly sip this one. It's like if you want to get drunk off of eating a brownie or something.
I hope we're just passionate about beer and that this isn't our sad way of pretending other people are here when we're stuck in quarantine.
Oh, like this is our guest.
Hey, Pat.
Well, I did
up to whoever made it this far into the video. Shireen. She definitely watched the whole thing because she was like, she made a reference. I was like, wow, that was like a reference like 10 minutes in. Like, wow.
She commits.
To Shireen.
To Shireen.
Favorite beer and favorite bird that I've raised. I mean, it's the only bird I've raised, but it was a great bird. So thank you for that.
Thank you to Starbound for letting me create an avian race character that I've named Satan.
We don't do endorsements.
It looks like a green parrotlet, just like Satan. Very cute. Now I'm living out her life. As she could have.
You already were.
Yeah. Yeah, she fights monsters and builds houses of bones.
She already did.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.